Decepticons back across the galaxy. Oh, hello. Welcome to Rohan's Corner. Yeah, you didn't see much. Today I'm going to do something which I had planned to do a couple of weeks ago, but I thought would be cool, is to talk about my favourite character. And that is Generation 1 Ironhide.
You talking to me?
So why was Ironhide my favourite Generation 1 character, you ask? Well, the initial reason was pretty simple, and that is because he's red.
You're the best!
You know, it was one of my favourite colours as a kid, growing up. He had this cool red bot, he was very hungry for battle, he was very strong, he had a great southern accent, he had some cool special powers in the glue gun, the cement mixer, the drill.
Retreat! Yeah, leave it to me, Prime.
And he kicked ass. He was badass. You know, virtually in every episode, you had Ironhide battling the Decepticons, usually Starscream or one of the higher-ups, maybe Soundwave. And if we look at his head sculpt and his armor, you know, it just epitomized his name and the whole ethos around him. So that's why I really liked Ironhide. And, you know, he came to a great end as well. You know, I know a lot of people may say, you know, it's great for a character to get killed off, but if you're going to get killed off, that's pretty much the best way to do it, by getting blasted through the chest by Megatron. And so I thought it might be cool to have a look at some of my Ironhide figures that I've got. And I've only collected the Generation 1 toys here for you to see. So you can probably see here at the front, we have my original Generation 1 Ironhide here, with an upgrade on there, shoulders, head, and a proper gun to go with that. He's not perfect, mind you. His body is much bigger than his spindly little legs. His arms and his shoulders look well proportioned, and his head looks great, but the waist, legs, they just don't go. And I've never really been able to figure out how to get the back end to work really well, so it doesn't look particularly nice with all that kibble hanging off. But let's face it, this was the Generation 1 toy. We always knew that it was never going to be the best representation when most of us bought it. Just like most of the other G1 toys, it was always about the alt mode, and the alt mode on there was pretty good, especially with the sled that came with it. When put together, it looked really good. There is actually a light up function here in the eyes, but I think my battery has died. It's also not the best that I have to discard or this whole section. So there we go. Put it next to the Hot Soldiers version, which I think is a pretty cool alt mode. I do like the rubber tyres on Generation 1 though. Can't really beat rubber tyres. And moving on to the updates. So for a long time we've been waiting for a good Ironhide. I didn't bother with the Chug Henkai Classics version. There was far too much kibble, too much breakage on the body. It just didn't look good. It didn't look like Ironhide to me.
Too much lip wheel, not enough action.
And so Siege Ironhide was probably the best looking Ironhide I'd seen for a long time. I did actually buy the iGear Warrior Ironhide, who was pretty cool, but then, you know, I don't collect masterpiece scale figures, so I got rid of him. So Siege Ironhide was pretty cool, but when Earthrise came along and it had the proper alt mode, I had to get him. Looking at the two of them, they look great.
Maybe, but I can't let my failings put my friends in danger.
I think Siege Ironhide's chest looks a little bit better, although in the flesh I think actually I definitely prefer Earthrise Ironhide. In terms of the colour palette, I do wish he was a bit more of a brighter red. They seem to have gone for a dull kind of deep red, which I don't mind the deep, but if it was brighter it would work better for me. Not a lot, but something a little bit more like the Hot Soldiers colour scale. Can't argue with the bot modes, they look fantastic. And here he is with his packmate. Of course, he wasn't one of the coolest Autobots.
Oh, wingnuts!
I mean, he transformed into a big red van, so, you know, that was slow and clunky.
Got lead in your drive shaft? I don't see you breaking the sound barrier, Ironhide!
And, you know, he was old, and he wore it, you know. That was his thing. He was old and he knew it, and he was clunky and he knew it, and...
It's been worse. I remember the time on Cybertron.
Save the war stories, hotshot. Just remember, there's a thin line between being a hero and being a memory.
Maybe Ironhide's ready for a nice, cushy office job.
Ain't no way. Soon as Ratchet tightens a few bolts, I'll be right back in action.
He wasn't slick like Jazz with his cool light shows and sound system and great voice, or
Sounds all right to me.
have a super fast alt mode like Mirage,
Finish line dead ahead, Jazz!
Then let's flip up some dust.
or have the ability to crack fantastic jokes like Blue Streak.
Maybe Hound's got glitch mice in his databanks again.
You know, he was his own guy and he wore it. But he made up for it with some of the other capabilities he had, or some of the personality traits he had. His bravery, his loyalty, and his willingness to always fight the Decepticons, his eagerness to get into battle, and he took a lot of hits in Generation 1, Season 1 and Season 2.
Optimus! Optimus, old buddy, this is what separates the Autobots from the robot chickens. Don't worry, we'll get them.
Ironhide!
We've won! Now! Run, Autobot!
Not unless you can fly.
Even though, you know, probably bigger ones than when Megatron killed him. But hey, you know, that's how the show goes, right?
Move it!
Thanks, pal. No wonder he's called Ironhide.
And so, it remains for me to ask you, who's your favourite Generation 1 character and why? Let us know. Post it up on TFUK, post it up on YouTube, post it up on Instagram, on Twitter, wherever you fancy. But tell us, what are the reasons why your favourite character is your favourite? Until next time, this has been Rohan on Rohan's Corner. Back to the guys. Take care.
Anybody get the number of that clanking disaster?